Robert Howes stood in the courtroom awaiting his sentence, his future hanging in the balance. As the judge delivered the verdict, the weight of his crimes crashed upon him, and the world held its breath, witnessing this pivotal moment. The judge's voice thundered, pronouncing the damning sentence that would forever shape Robert Howes' life.
Holding a gun to people's head and terrorizing them is not a mistake. It is a crime.
The gravity of his actions resonated in the courtroom, a chilling reminder of the consequences he faced.
The kidnapping, I sentenced to 11 years, plus 3 years for the gun.
Robert Howes absorbed the judge's words. A mixture of shock and resignation etched upon his face. The weight of his choices settled upon him, realizing the irreparable harm he had inflicted. The sentence pressed down upon Robert Howes like an insurmountable burden. His past collided with this moment of reckoning, the full force of the law crashing upon him. In that silent courtroom, justice prevailed. Robert Howes, once a predator lurking in the shadows, now faced a life confined behind prison walls. Remorse flickered in Robert Howes' eyes, a glimpse of the man he could have been had he chosen a different path. His name became etched into the annals of infamy, a symbol of the consequences that befall those who tread the dark path. The weight of his life sentence settled upon him, a sentence that would shape his remaining days. This moment served as a chilling reminder to all, a testament to the power of justice and the lasting impact of our choices. Let Robert Howes' fall from grace stand as a warning to those who walk the treacherous path, for justice will find them, forever altering their lives. Michael Webb orchestrated a chilling abduction that sent shockwaves through Fort Worth, Texas. In a race against time, police stormed a hotel room where they believed the suspect was hiding. Their hearts pounded, knowing the life of an innocent 8-year-old hung in the balance. The harrowing ordeal began when a courageous mother fought desperately to save her daughter, but the kidnapper callously sped away, leaving anguish and fear in his wake. After 8 agonizing hours, authorities discovered the suspect's vehicle in a hotel parking lot.
I scoped it out pretty good, and I know I missed somebody because when I pushed the woman and grabbed her, I heard somebody screaming.
Though the child was not initially found, the unwavering determination of the Fort Worth Police Department led them back to that very hotel room. Room 333 held the key to unraveling the mystery. With hearts pounding, the officers burst in, their eyes scanning the room, and then a ray of hope pierced the darkness. With joyful relief, the little girl emerged, her innocence preserved, but her trust forever shaken. In that moment, justice prevailed.
Michael?
I told her that if she said anything, that I would do something to her parents. And if I was in jail, I would have my friends to do it.
Michael Webb, the mastermind behind this despicable act, has now been condemned to a life behind bars. The weight of his crimes rests heavily upon him. As the gavel falls, the collective sigh of a community resonates, a community that refused to yield to fear, a community that stood strong in the face of evil. Michael Webb's sentencing marks the end of one chapter, but it also shines a light on the indomitable spirit of those who fought tirelessly to rescue an innocent child. In the face of darkness, they united, they persevered, and they prevailed. And through their strength, a young girl finds solace, knowing that she is safe and loved. This is the tale of Michael Webb, a predator brought to justice, and a community that will forever stand vigilant, protecting its most vulnerable. For in the face of adversity, they proved that love and resilience will always conquer the darkest of deeds.
And I had my hands like this, and I said, look, I'm out, you don't have to cut the ropes off.
This is Ariel Castro, the embodiment of pure evil. Behind these prison walls, he imprisoned 3 women, subjecting them to unspeakable horrors for over a decade. But today, justice prevails, as Castro finds himself confined to a cell destined to rot for eternity. Before his final imprisonment, his victims bravely confronted him. A shell knight, a survivor, faced her tormentor head-on. In a momentary crack in Castro's facade, a flicker of emotion betrayed his hardened demeanor.
I remember all the times that you came home talking about what everybody else did wrong and act like you wasn't doing the same thing. You said, at least I didn't kill you. You took 11 years of my life away, and I have got it back. I spent 11 years in hell. Now your hell is just beginning. I will overcome all this that happened, but you will face hell for eternity.
Knight declared her fearlessness, exposing Castro's twisted hypocrisy. She challenged his pious church attendants, juxtaposed with the unspeakable torture he inflicted upon them. Her words echoed with defiance and an unwavering demand for justice. Castro, desperate to evade consequences, pleaded guilty to countless charges, but his victims refused to be silenced. United in their harrowing experiences, Michelle Knight, Amanda Berry, and Gina De Jesus shattered Castro's claims of consent and pleasure, exposing the true magnitude of their suffering. The unveiling of Castro's House of Horrors showcased the chains, filth, and restraints that held these women captive. His feeble attempts to conceal their existence crumbled beneath the weight of undeniable evidence. Now survivors, Castro's victims choose privacy to heal and rebuild.
My sexual problem has been so bad on my mind that I'm impulsive. Most of the sex that went on in the house, and probably all of it, was consensual. These allegations about being forceful on them, that is totally wrong.
Through their loved ones, they express an unwavering determination to move forward, reclaiming their strength and refusing to be defined by their past. Castro's fate is sealed, an eternity in prison, devoid of mercy. But for his victims, the scars he left run deep and enduring. This is the story of Ariel Castro, a man who believed he could steal lives. But in their unwavering resilience, the survivors emerge as the true heroes. As Castro fades into obscurity, they will continue to live, love, and thrive. Their indomitable will to overcome is a story that demands to be heard. Trevor Summer faced the consequences of his horrifying actions as the judge delivered the final verdict. The weight of his crimes, which included kidnapping, attempted murder, and sexual battery, hung heavy in the air as the sentence was pronounced: a life behind bars.
Mr. Trevor Summers will spend the rest of his life in Florida State Prison. As to counts 1, 2, and 3, I sentence him to life in prison to run concurrent with each other. As to counts 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10, I sentence him to 32.1125 years on each and every one of those counts to run consecutively.
Throughout the trial, Summers had chosen to represent himself, giving him the unsettling opportunity to confront his former wife, Elisa Mathewson, and their children on the witness stand. It was a chilling display of his manipulative nature and complete lack of remorse.
I wonder what father had that careless of mind leave a 3-year-old alone while trying to kidnap his mom, and not knowing what was going to happen to him. He was going to be caught by the police and get himself life in prison.
He began slitting his throat and saying, "This is what love is. I'm laying my life down for you. You don't deserve this."
Hillsborough Circuit Judge Christopher Sabella did not mince words as he addressed Summers, acknowledging the evil that resided within him. He described Summers as a monster, with the testimonies and evidence presented during the trial painting a chilling portrait of his depravity.
State is announced in all cross on 173962 at this time. So there is nothing standing in the way of his transfer to Florida State Prison to begin his life sentence. Again, I thank you all very much.
The ordeal began in March 2017 when Summers violated a court order and abducted Elisa Mathewson from her Valrico home. For 2 terrifying days, she endured physical and psychological torment at his hands. Summers raped and assaulted her, driving around with her as his captive.
This is where he is going to kill me, and they're not.
That's what you're thinking at this point?
And they're not going to find my body.
Summers' reign of terror was brought to an end when law enforcement discovered them. In a desperate act, he slashed his own throat, but justice prevailed, and Summers now faced a lifetime of imprisonment for the heinous crimes he committed. Elisa Mathewson and her family displayed immense strength and bravery throughout the trial. Their resilience and unwavering spirit in the face of unimaginable trauma served as a beacon of hope for survivors everywhere.
I used the Christmas lights to tie me to the bed rails. At one point, being hogtied, the pain was so incredible, of shooting pain and spasms through my back from being in that position. that I was crying out to him and begging him to please just roll me onto my side.
The sentencing of Trevor Summers underscores the urgency of addressing domestic violence and ensuring that survivors receive the protection and justice they deserve. It is a reminder that communities must stand united, offering support and resources to those in need. Though the scars will forever remain, Elisa Mathewson and her children can now begin to rebuild their lives. Their story is a testament to the indomitable human spirit and a reminder that even in the face of darkness, there is hope for a brighter tomorrow. Derek Brown faced a Milwaukee courtroom in the wake of his appalling assault on a woman in River West Park. As the judge delivered the sentence, Derek Brown unleashed a tirade, revealing a disturbing perspective on his own actions. With a smirk on his face, Brown brazenly claimed to be the victim, defying the reality of his heinous crime. Unfazed by the consequences, Brown seized the opportunity to address the court, proclaiming his innocence and vowing to share his version of events with the world. Yet the truth prevailed. Brown's sentencing hearing served as a grim reminder of his conviction for the brutal assault, a crime his DNA irrefutably linked him to. The victim, still haunted by the physical and psychological trauma, courageously shared her harrowing experience, shedding light on the enduring impact of Brown's vicious attack. As the judge pronounced the sentence, Brown's true nature revealed itself once more. Instead of remorse, he displayed an audacious smile, as if basking in the attention. Justice prevailed as the judge handed down a severe sentence. Over 44 years in prison, followed by 22 years of extended supervision, a testament to the severity of his crimes and the lasting effects on the victim's life.
Dante Hamilton, I am a victim. I am going to be victorious.
Turn the microphone off.
Turn the microphone.
Derek Brown's attempt to distort the truth and portray himself as a victim crumbled beneath the weight of evidence and the resilience of a survivor. In the face of Brown's depravity, the victim's courage and the unwavering commitment of the justice system stand as beacons of hope, sending a resounding message that such acts of violence will not go unpunished. As Derek Brown begins his lengthy incarceration, the victim and the community find solace in the knowledge that justice has been served and that their voices have been heard.